and not have an opportunity to play. And what you see now is that confidence. And what all it does, it makes practice so much better. It creates more competition throughout practice. And it bodes well for us because now you see these guys are excited every day to come out and go practice because they know they're going to play in games and in critical moments. They were there early. They were really instrumental, both those guys early on, of limiting their run game in some of our practices. So I was excited to see them go out and play.
Looking to Arkansas, maybe almost Tennessee-like, and you talk about the passing offense, but they've got a good enough running game to
very simple. Very simple. You look at the two, obviously, premier quarterbacks is what you look at. Big-time backs, Miles Davis back there. They've got skilled guys across the board. I mean, you can combine that with the receiver, number 11. I mean, they got the three-headed monster back there. So, you've got to have a plan in place for all of those guys. And you got to decide on any given day, what do you have to take away to win the football game? And that's really important.
Talk about what you've seen from Corey Prudenville since you've taken over.
He's kind of, Corey's been great for us because Corey allows us to, put him in multiple roles, and he doesn't miss a beat once he does it. So, Corey can play corner, Corey can play safety, Corey can play nickel, and he feels comfortable with not only getting himself lined up, but communicating to the rest of the guys what has to be done. So, it's been an ace for us.
Chris, it's his senior day, but when you got here, John was making the transition from safety to corner.
Time goes fast.
That's not, I'm sure, a coaching move that you just ultimately just decided on. I mean, it seemed like that took some time, some effort, some thought. I mean, just talk about what went into that transition for him.
Well, the biggest thing, early on, they were such a young group, and you wanted to get your best guys on the field, and you just tried to plug guys in. And then, what happened is all of a sudden, the guys started developing. Here comes Corey and DA. I'm going back to some of those guys who were there. They really started developing in the scheme, and you were able to kind of move Corey around a little bit to play corner. And now, since he's played so many positions, he's a jack of all trade for us. So that's really been the key, just the development of players, which allows us to move guys around.
Talk about Dan and then Coach Hughes over there, just about the communication of the safety. I mean, you're 3 months in the season, but you still see some of those uncertainties back there in those guys because, one's a converted corner and one's coming off an injury.
Well, the biggest thing is this, and I say this often, I know guys kind of look at it, it's just doing your job. And obviously, if they don't know, that's us as coaches. We've got to make sure that we rep it enough, we communicate it enough, not only just what we do schematically, but the situation we're in, and that they hear it. And so that's the biggest thing, and then we get it communicated across the board. And when you're in big games, and when I mean big games, at certain times and certain weeks, that may not get uncovered. But against good people, that gets uncovered.
Do you see Whitley and Banks, not Banks, Broomfield, maybe thinking a little bit more now because it just seems a tiny bit of hesitation sometimes back there?
Well, I think, no, I don't see that. I think sometimes, you either bust it or B, the team executes better. There are times when they just execute at a higher level than you do. And there are times when we execute at a higher level than they do. So I don't see that as much as being able to execute, your fundamentals and the scheme that you got called. And just making the scheme do what it should do. And once we get those things communicated, I think we'll be fine.
Do you see the film sessions with your linebackers starting to pay off? I thought I saw against LSU, Bohanna and McKinney both pointing out, it's going here, going here on a third and short, and then you were able to stuff it.
Well, you look at those guys, I want to say, I can't think of how many defensive guys we run, but we probably played 98% of those guys. And the thing that our whole program is built on is obviously effort, but development. And so to have those guys play a top 10 program at critical moments, it keeps allowing us to go in the direction that we want to go to. And what it does is, it creates competition, and it creates just a radical practice environment. When you know guys are going to play, you practice at a different level. And that's what we've got to have to be one of those top 10 programs. We got to have competition.
I know it's important every week to get after the quarterback, but
yeah.
Arkansas's had problems protecting Tyler Wilson all year. People have gone after him.
Yeah.
Everybody, they're blitzing, it seems like every down.
And sometimes they win, and a lot of times they win.
Yeah.
So you've got to really pick your moments on this guy. He's a veteran guy who gets the difference. He knows when you're in certain coverages, so you got to do a great job of disguising your looks. A lot of time they'll look from the press box to help him out quite a bit. You know,
Yeah.
they'll go fast. They'll look you. So they've got a really good system, and you've got to really pick your moments of when you're gonna pressure this guy. And the biggest thing you've got to understand is, can you get there before the ball gets out of his hand? And if you can hold your coverage or make him hold the ball a little bit, you've got an opportunity. But if not, when you typically watch him and study him, the ball's out of his hands. Now, if you can get him to hold the ball, you'll have an opportunity of getting him on the ground.